My name's Kristen. I am a product design student at London South Bank University. I am a third year student and I just came back from placement. I actually hadn't planned on doing a placement. I was pretty sure that I wasn't going to, and I was actively participating in competitions. At the last minute, I actually won a competition and asked if I could do a placement because it was a great opportunity. And they said yes, and that's it. I went for the whole year. I think my peers did it a bit better than I did. They did it the right way. They looked through the job sites, used the career center. Since I hadn't planned on going, I didn't do any of that. But using the competitions that I did, I used those sources and people that I met when I went to the ceremony, and asked those people. There wasn't a job open for me, and I just asked for it. No, in the past I've done 2 other internships while I was in school. The first one was a non-paid one, and they just kind of took me on, and it was a bit useless. I got the coffee and help like that. The second one was really interesting, but I got shut down maybe 3 times by the manager. So I kept on asking, and what about now, what about now? And at the end he just said okay. Sure, so my placement was in Burgos, Spain, which is a little town. And it's in a company called Grupo Antolin. Not very well known, but actually they produce 1 in 3 headliners in the world of car interiors. So that's what I worked on, is car interiors, everything but seats. And I worked on the conceptual designs for upcoming designs that would go into any brand, from Volkswagen to BMW to Porsche, whatever. Also, I worked on developing materials that didn't come from the automotive sector and how to adapt them to our processes and validations. I would say, as far as technical skills relevant to my degree, I got to know Alias, which is a surface modeling tool, which is really great. And just get better at the skills that I did have, Adobe Suite, some other CAD, some other rendering software. I think the best experience that I learned was working in a team and working under a manager. That's tough. You're not in school anymore, you can't just do what you want to do. There's strict guidelines, you might have to do projects that you don't want to do. So I would say, and also showing up to meetings, making sure that what you say is what you do and you deliver it on time. So I think those skills I learned a bit more, I benefited more. This is my second degree, so I've had work experience in the past. And for me, a placement was really beneficial. I think for people who are a bit younger than me, who haven't had any work experience, you have to do it because it makes you a more professional person, so that when you go into your first job, you're not so green, you won't mess up so much. It's okay to mess up a little bit in your placement. That's where you get to say stupid things and miss meetings because you didn't see your calendar. When you show up to your real job after that, you can't do all that. So I think really a placement is a good way to become a professional. Look at what the team is doing and what your boss is doing, how they're dressing, how they're speaking, what time they're showing up, what time they're leaving, and try to copy that, if that makes sense, so that you develop your personal habits, develop as a professional standard. Don't be afraid to ask your peers for mentorship, and really be inquisitive. They like that you bring in ideas and questions from the outside, because they've possibly been in that department for years without so much creative input, and you just come like a fresh new source, and they might benefit from that. 1 is the CV, I have it on my CV. 2, I was offered a position with that company. I'm not sure if I'll take it, I'll see my options, but I do have that option. just being able, I've had a lot, in my placement I did a lot of meetings with clients with different variety of bosses, levels. I think I'm a lot more comfortable now going into interviews and speaking to people professionally than I was before.